Hi, I'm Steve Murphy, and welcome to the Insider Exclusive. Today, we are featuring some breaking headline legal news on the Life After the Exoneration program. Stay tuned.
My name's Jeffrey Scott Hornoff, and I'm a police officer. I was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Every step of the judicial system failed me and my family. And if not for the guilt and remorse of the true killer, I'd still be in prison.
She died, I killed her.
Why would you not want to ensure that California stops putting innocent people in prison? It's a very good question.
I was locked up when I was 20 years old, just turned 20 years old. And I'm 42 now, so I've been in a little over 22 years.
It was hard for my father to explain to me. I got convicted of raping somebody, but Daddy didn't do it. So it's like, how you not do it, Daddy, if you've been in here for all these years now?
Everything in life is wonderful, and then one day, somebody comes up and tells a lie on you and you end up in jail. What's different is he knows fear doesn't exist.
When they told me rape, robbery, possession of instrument of crime, gun, conspiracy, all these, I'm like, oh my God, you know, just it's almost like 100 years in jail for something you didn't do, and I'm really scared.
I was in shock because I got found guilty.
I looked him right in the face, and I said, "You and I both know I didn't kill anyone." And he couldn't look me in the eye.
He sentenced me to all that time, and I didn't know what to expect in prison. You know, I expected be beaten, be raped. I expected to die in prison.
The government has failed the exonerated.
It's finally over. It's been 19 years. What now? Go home.
I am very pleased now to present the director of the Life After Exoneration program, Heather Weigand. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you for coming down here today. I really appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about your program. What is the purpose of your organization, et cetera? What do you primarily do?
Well, we were formed in 2003 to address the injustices of wrongful conviction by aiding and assisting exonerees and their family members to rebuild their life once they've gained their freedom and found innocent and began to reintegrate into society.
Why doesn't the government just double speed to take care of these people that have been through hell and back? Wow, what's the deal here?
Well, there's 22 states in this country that do not have compensation laws. So if you're found innocent and conviction is reversed and you gain your freedom in one of these states, you are not eligible for any compensation. There are, however, the remaining states do have some kind of compensation statute, but very few of them have restorative awards, meaning social services. 2 decades ago, we started to utilize DNA technology and getting innocent people out of prison. I mean, who would have thought it? Mm-hmm. So now, after over a decade of getting over nearly 400 people out, over 200 of those DNA exonerations, that means these are people that have have proven their innocence, demonstrable innocence. After we began to get the Innocence Project and other attorneys gain these people's freedom, they found that they weren't faring well. They had an extra layer of psychological issues. Mm-hmm. They had still the stigma of being in prison. They had problems getting their record expunged, and they weren't getting compensated, and fighting an uphill legal battle just to get compensated.
So my question is, why? Why is that? Why aren't people coming forward like yourself, more people who are in a position to change things?
I think what it is really just the public does not know, and they're unaware of the systemic defect that's happening. Because what we have is prosecution, district attorneys saying that we have the greatest legal institution in the world, and that exoneration and innocent people going to prison is a rare phenomenon. Well, it's not rare.
Right.
We have over 500 cases, over 200 of those DNA cases, which means they're slam dunk innocent cases. And this is now a systemic defect. It's not a rare occasion anymore. Mm-hmm. And any prosecutor that would even say that has their head in the sand.
Right.
So people need to wake up. Our system needs reform. And, you know, this is a country that incarcerates 2.2 million people. And within that population, you know, most of the population, the majority, are young, black, and male. And that's a whole generation being lost to institutional neglect and myopia.
Right.
And things need to change. And this movement that we talk about, bringing it to light and bringing criminal justice reform, is to talk about and bring it to the public because, number one, the public are jurors. So we need jurors to recognize the causes of wrongful conviction. And we can talk about that a little later, I suppose. But they need to know what the causes are so they're not tripped up as a jury member, and that they're open-minded and that they see possible misleading cases and situations that happen during jury trial and appeal and the investigation process that make a case go wrong and end up with innocent people getting put in prison. And this is real and this is happening, and more often than not.
Right now, I want to bring one of the exonerated on our set. So we're going to go to that right now. That's right. Tim Atkins, and he was incarcerated, what, for 20 years?
24 years.
24 years for a murder he didn't commit.
That's right.
Let's bring him on right now.
Okay.
And my next guest, and I'm pleased to have him with us, Tim Atkins. Thank you for joining us on the show. Your story is horrifying. 22 and a half years for a conviction crime you never did, right?
Correct.
What was it? You were convicted of what, murder?
First-degree murder robbery.
And where were you in California State Prison System?
Yes.
22 and a half years. What did it feel like when you wanted to tell the world that you were innocent? What kind of help did you have?
I didn't have no help whatsoever, so I heard about the California Innocence Project through a friend while I was in prison, so I wrote him a letter.
How many years had you been incarcerated before you were able to do that?
About 18.
18 years? Did you ever think that you would never get out of prison?
No, I never thought that. You know, I always told myself that I was going to keep fighting until I got out of prison.
What happened? You contacted the California Innocence Project. What'd they do?
They investigated my claim, and they found out that, you know, what I was saying was true. So they found all the witnesses and got them together, and they recanted.
So basically, you were convicted on eyewitness testimony that was
faulty. The eyewitness
false.
Said the person that robbed and shot her husband was 5'4" to 5'6".
And I'd say you're about 6 feet.
125 pounds. And I was arrested 7 days later. I was 6 feet tall, 178.
I've interviewed a number of people that have been exonerees, and a lot of them say kind of the same thing. I don't hold any anger towards anyone because that would destroy me. Do you feel that same way?
Yes, I live like that because to be angry and bitter, you know, would stop my forward progress.
Yes.
So I can't do that.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot of things in life that happen that we don't understand, but we got to keep going.
Now, in your current job, by helping at-risk young people, are they listening to you? That must be fulfilling, isn't it?
Yes, because it gives me a chance to share with the youngsters what nobody shared with me a long time ago.
Which is what it's like.
Exactly. What it's like running the streets and how it's so easy for you to get in trouble, and the hardest thing is for you to get out of trouble.
Right.
So, you know, I share my experience with them and try to help them any way I can.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show, Tim. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
And thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
We're going to do another show on this. We're going to get the word out. I want to thank you very much for watching our show. You can catch more of these shows at www.insiderexclusive.com. Come back again.